All right. All right. So welcome back to continuation of the other of our class. All right. So what we're talking about today is Figma introduction, features and navigation. All right. So I'll just be showing us brief example of Figma. Now, but before we go into, let's look at what Figma is. First of all, now I'm your facilitator, as you know that. And what is Figma? Now this is the logo for Figma. All right. This is the logo for Figma. Let's go ahead. Now, Figma is a cloud-based tool used to create wireframes, UIs, and prototypes. The logo is here, all right? The logo of Figma should be here, that which is this logo. I don't know, for some reason it is not yet loaded, all right? But let's go ahead. Now, why Figma? We use Figma because it works in browser. Now, Figma has both the browser feature, the browser tool, and not just the browser tool, the downloadable version. So you can download on your PC, you can download on your mobile device, but mobile device is limited. You can't do some work there. It's better you download Figma on your PC. All right. Also, it has the paid version and the free version. The paid version will allow you to do more things. All right. Now, another thing Figma, why we use Figma, it allows for real-time collaboration. All right, real-time collaboration. Then no installment is required. Just download and set it up and you move. Now it's industry standard. Is recognized by the industry, product design, product development. Right? Now, when you open Figma, for example, you see your I'm going to explain all these tools now. You see your canvas, which is the main working area, the toolbar at the top or down, the left panel, the pages, the layers, the right panel. Now, before we get into all these things, let's see what happens when we get into Figma. Now, this is the landing page for Figma. This is the landing page for Figma. For example, if I move over here, the first thing I see, the first thing I see is what? These are the first thing I see. Okay, once I type into get into Figma, I just do figma.com. Now I get into this page. If you've not signed up on Figma, you might be required to sign up. You understand? So now there are many things here. There are many things here actually. This is the general page. If you have projects, you might be required. If you have projects, you see them here. All my projects are here. All right, all my projects are here. Now, to start a new design, we are going to click here. All right, click here to start new design. Now it's going to load and take us to another page, the page where we would actually be working on. This is taking us to the page where we'll actually be working on. I'm still going to bring us back to that page where I brought us from. You understand? Now, these are the this is what we're talking of. When we're talking about the canvas, the main working area, this is where we're talking about. Right? This is the canvas, this is the main working area. This is a new design I'm opening also. If you open this, you just have to redesign it. So this is your canvas, the main working area. This is where you'll be doing all your activities, all your design. All right, this is where you're doing all your design. Now, which other aspect? The toolbar. Now, the toolbar might either be at the top or at the bottom. Now, this is the toolbar. All right, this is the toolbar. This is where I have different tools. I'm still going to explain all these tools. All right. Now, what is the next one? We have the left panel for the pages and layers, and the right panel for the properties. Now, let me explain. This is the left panel for pages. I can add a page here, page two. So there are two different pages here. If I zoom out, see them. Okay, it's not yet visible because nothing has been added. It's not yet visible because there's no color. You understand? I can delete this page. So let's just work with one page. All right. Now layers to the same thing. On the page you have different layers. So as you're working, more layers will be adding up. Now for the properties are on this side. All right. The properties are on this side. Now anything you highlight, anything you select, you see their properties here. Okay. For instance, now I've selected page and I want to make a design. I want to make a design. I can just, you know, do anything I want to do here. You understand? So that's it. So that's for pages and layer. This is to see the pages on the design you're working on. This is your canvas, and to see the properties, the features. Now another one is okay. I've talked about that. So now let's move ahead. Now pages and Pages and layers template is very important. Now, pages panel at the left, which I just showed you, which is this one. What is it used for? It's used to organize your work. For example, your wireframes, your UI, your prototype, and the frame tool to create screen. Now, where is this frame tool? Now, let me explain all these things now. Now, this particular aspect now is your tool, your move tool. Now, the features that are under there, you have your move tool, your hand tool. Hand is to hold. If I hold this hand, so I'll be able to hold my screen and move it around. Okay. Now, also the scale, I can see the scale, but you'll not be able to see that now because there's nothing there. So just leave it in move because we're just hovering around. Now, another one is the frame. All right. The frame, there are two ways. Okay. To select frame, just come down here where you have this cross rectangle. You click on it. Now, if you click on it, you'll notice by your right, you now have the frame for different things. Now, like I said, anything you select, the properties are going to come by your right. So even if you select rectangle like this, the properties are going to come. If you select this one, the properties changes. This one, the properties changes. Okay, most of these ones they are similar. You understand? But this frame now, because you cannot access all of them there, you select it, the property come. Now, frame simply means, let's say you want to work on something. You understand? You're supposed to have your frame ready, all right? Before you work on anything. Now, let's say I want to design for a phone, for a PC, and the phone I'm using is, let's say, an iPhone 16. iPhone 16. I just select it. Now it gives me the frame for iPhone 16. This is the frame for iPhone 16. Let's take for instance now. I also want to do another design. I can select. I can rather type F and click. It gives me another frame. So I'll just separate these two frames together. So there are two frames right here. I can zoom out. I can zoom out. Now you see that the pages I have and my canvas, I can barely see the pages I am working on. I can barely see them. You understand? Because of I've added frame and the color is similar to that of the background. Now I'll just do something. I'll just do something right now. I'll select my entire background. I want to change this color to a darker color. So I'll just highlight it and do something like this. Yes. So I can work with this. So now I now have what I'm working with. So now let me do what I said again. Adding frame, just come down here, select the frame, then you now select what you're designing for. If what you're designing for, if you have a specific phone that you are designing for, you can do that, or just select Android for general use. You understand? But if it's for a tablet, a desktop, a presentation, you can also select that now. So for instance, now let's say I want to design using an iPhone 16. I'll just select it. It gives me. Now there are two ways. Either I click on frame and select, or I just type F. All right, I'll type F and it comes. I type F, iPhone 16, it comes up. All right, so these are two frames. These are two frames. Now, um, that's about frames. Okay. Now the next thing we are looking at is okay, the frame tool. Now let's go ahead. After frame tool, what do we have? Of course, now when you press F, Figma shows you device preset on the right, iPhones, Android, tablet, desktop, web. Of course, this is what I'm talking about. If I select the frame now, if I click on frame now, it changes to all these things. So you see iPhones, Android, tablet, desktop, web, presentation, and the rest of them. So that's what it means. You understand? So you select the device, you click on the canvas, the screen appears. Here is your canvas. Here is your canvas, which means the area that you're working on. All right. Now moving ahead, now, V, the move tool, used to select elements, to move elements. F, the frame to create screen. We now have your shape, rectangle. Or now, let's go over to the move tool, V. Now, let's say I want to type. I just select V. I just type V. Or I just come down here, put it on move. I'll be able to move this thing, move it around. You understand? So it's used to move your things around. Okay? So that's for moving. Now we also have another one. Okay, hold on. We also have another one, the rectangle. Simply, you can just do that simply by just typing R, and it already shows appears on the screen. You can now draw your screen, the rectangle here, right? So that's how it's done. We've drawn a screen here. You can draw another one here. Sorry. Make sure you type R so that it's going to highlight the screen you want to draw. You can make it small, you can make it big, you can make it only to the side, you can make it up, you can make it down. You understand? So you can draw your rectangle. Now, same thing for a circle. These are the basic shapes you'll be using. O, just an ellipse. All right, the same thing. Just draw an ellipse. So these are the basic. I'm just showing you random shapes. All right, these are the basic things you'll be doing. You can even just click. You can select the shape down here. Of course, these are more shapes. You have rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon. I just showed you the shortcut, but this one now is for shape. You understand? So you press rectangle, it turns to rectangle. If I click on O, it turns to ellipse. If I click on different ones, you understand? Now, another tool we're using is okay. We've used all of these, all right? Now let's move over to the next text tool. Text tool. Where is this text tool? See it here. This is a text tool. This is to add text to something. So you that will be designing your you that will be designing your wireframes, this tool is going to be very important. So you can add something. Let me zoom in so that you see it very well. Okay, I'm not typing anything meaningful. I'm just typing. So this is your text tool. After adding it, you can make it. You can just add it anywhere. You can just shift it here. So you've added a text already. You understand? You've added a text. So that's what it's about. Now, another one is, let's zoom out and go back to your pen tool. This is to draw. You understand? This is to draw. Now, where is this pen tool? This is it here. All right. Is noted pen. Now let's zoom in and see whether we can draw. Now let's say we want to draw a love emoji. We can draw, draw, draw. Oh, my love emoji is not loving at all. Okay, let's just close it. So enter. Once we finish drawing, we type enter. You understand? So this is just it. Now you can just simply pen again. To draw straight line is easy. Once we finish, enter. Sorry, make sure you highlight pen or type P. Okay, let's do that again. All right, so drawing different shapes. All right. So now when you're drawing, make sure that you hold your mouse, you draw, can hold your mouse to draw a line, draw different things. You understand? So that's all about drawing. So in cases where you be required to use free sketch, you would use your mouse to do that. You understand? Now another tool here is the image tool to drag images into canvas using this. Now, where is this image tool? Where is this image tool? Now, the image tool is not actually located here. For now, the image tool is not actually located here. All right. Image tool is not actually located here currently. Okay. What is here is just, and also yes, this is draw too. This is draw. You can select. I want to mention for rough sketch too. You can also make use of this one. Make sure you select draw. Right. This is draw. This is draw. So make sure you select draw. Okay, select the whether pencil or eraser. So pencil, so I can just draw random stuff for rough sketch, draw a circle, you know, for rough sketch, can draw this one too. Understand? So they are different of them, different things, you understand? So now take a look at this. Okay, this is I'll explain this one later. Now this next one here is the comments. You can add comments to anything. All right, you can add comments to anything. Let's say I don't like this thing here, I can just drop a comment here. I can just drop a comment here. All right, let's do that again. I just highlight here and drop a comment. You understand? Drop a comment there. So this aspect is to write comments. You say you don't like something, you can just highlight it, comment. Understand? So that's how it's being done. Now this comment is works when two people are collaborating. You understand? When most people are collaborating, you have more than one person on your on your design. So if you are working together, you just um make use of that so that you guys can collaborate very easily. You understand? So that is more of yeah, that's that. Okay. So that's the basics of all this. All right, so let's move ahead. Let's move ahead. Now, mm, let's go forward. Zoom in. Of course, you must use mouse while using Figma. I'm just zooming. To zoom in, you have to hold Control, zoom in, then zoom out. Still holding Control. Now, to move to the left, your Shift and scroll down is move to the right. Scroll up is move to the left. You understand? Now, to zoom in, Control, like I said, Shift, Shift to go down, go up, go down, go up, go down, go up, go down, go up. Please take note of that. You understand? So I've just explained all these things. Command is for those using MacBook. You understand? Command is for those using MacBook, while control is for those using Windows. You understand? So that's that about that. Now the next thing is, of course, these are also mouse control. You understand? So take note of all these mouse controls before you be using the material. So just take note of them. Now, navigating layers, you have your frames, your groups, your components, rename layers, So you need to rename everything. Now, what do I mean by renaming layers? Now, for instance, now I have this, right? This iPhone 16. Under iPhone 16, we have this ellipse. Under iPhone 16, we have this ellipse, all right? Now, iPhone 16, we still have this rectangle, all right? Nothing is on this rectangle. That's why it's here. You understand? Now, if you scroll down, we have vector 1, vector 2, vector 3, vector 4. These are all these things I highlighted here. All these stuffs. Okay, this iPhone 61. Yeah, let's scroll out. Okay, this is it. This is it. Now all these things are the vectors, vector 1, vector 2. So you can rename all these things. I can rename this thing to button or icon or okay, let's say send, or let's say this one is pin, or with photo. So you can just rename all these things so that you know what you're actually working on. You understand? So these are the layers. Now when we mean understanding layers, we mean, for example, now all these things they are in front here. If I select this main layer now, this is the iPhone 16. If I take it, of course, it's at the back. Um, we'll make sure that we understand all these layers so that we can able to rename this. Now you notice something. Anyone I hover my mouse over change color. For example, this Joyo, I put my mouse over it, it's changed color. Vector 4, this is vector 4 because I put my mouse over it by the right side of the panel. vector 3, vector 2, vector 1, and the rest of them, ellipse 2. You understand? You understand? So that is just it. So understand the layers. Know that everything here is also represented here. You understand? So if I select this one, vector 4, you see the properties. I can do anything with the properties. I can do anything with the properties. Anything that I remember, I said that the properties, what these properties is just based on anything you select. So if I select this one, I can change anything on it here. You understand? If I select this second one, I can change anything on it, and so on and so forth. All right. So please take note of that. Now, reusable elements, buttons, cards, create elements. You understand? Now let's see how we can create elements. You understand? Create elements. Now the simple is, let me just delete all these ones that are here. All this rough sketch. No, undo. I think I'll just leave one or two of them. Okay, these ones they are grouped. I mistakenly grouped them. That's why they are like that. Okay, I'll just remove them actually. I'll just remove them actually. All right, so I was saying something. I was saying create elements. Control Alt K. You understand? Control plus Alt plus K. Now, what can we create? Icons. There are icons. There are plugins. You understand? So depending on what you want to create. Now, let's see if you can bring. You can go to icons library. So it's loading icons. It's loading the icons for us. Now, mind you, when we open this thing, we didn't rename our design. All right. I would love to show us how to do that. We didn't rename our design. Okay, maybe in the next class, I'll show you how to do that. Rename your design and everything. You understand? So while the icon is loading, let's see if we can go for other things. Buttons. Now, okay, let's get to let's see whether this one will load. Why this taking time to load? The icons library is actually taking time to load. So while it's loading, I'll just explain what it is. So these are the tools. This is your layout. Your layout. This is your right panel. This is the properties. You understand? On this right panel too, you have your own you. You are the designer here. All right. You can present your designs. You can share with people. This arrow now is to preview what you've designed or to present it. Right? If you want to show it to stakeholders, developers, or that. All right. So these are the basic things you need to know. Still take note of this thing is your tools, your move. All right. Your move, your hand tool, or your scale. Then this one is your frame. So add your frame. Add your frame or add a section. You understand? Then your shape. You can add shape. Right. Then your pen. This one is your pen, a pencil. You understand? To draw. Either pen or pencil. You can use anyone to draw. Text. This for your text box. You can add a text and start drawing. Then to add different things, different plugins, different assets, different features. Of course, you can add different things in general. You can add different things. You understand? So this is how we do it. Then this one too is your rough sketch, your pencil. You understand? Your pencil. Then this is to collapse that. All right. So our icons have not yet loaded. Still wondering why they've not yet loaded. Wondering why they've not yet loaded. Wondering why they've not yet loaded. Wondering why. Wondering why they've not yet loaded. Okay, let's check Iconify. Let's see whether we get some icons to just. I'm just showing us how to add all these things. It's very important to know how to add all these things. You understand? They're not yet loading. Why? They're not actually loading. Okay, so There are either two ways. Either you go like that. I don't know why my hand is not doing, but you can also do it another way. I just open a new tab and search Figma icons. Figma icons. It's very easy. Yeah, figure. Yeah, Figma icons library. Yeah. So we have a lot of icons for that. Mm, we have a lot of icons there. So you can use it to insert icons and the rest of them. Very easy. So this one too will load. So you just have to be patient. So now coming back to our design, let's see what's left. For styles, for textiles. Now for textiles now. mm, okay, let's go back to our drawing to see whether it's loaded. Okay, it's still loading Iconify. It is still loading. All right. So while we are waiting for this, now I say something about textiles now. Just highlight the text. All right. Once you've highlighted the text, you come to your right, which is the properties. You understand? You come to your right, which is properties. You'll not be able to edit every single thing. Every single thing. For example, now typography is inter. You can change the typography. You can change the typography to you can change it. You can change the typography to um Javanese text. You see, as I'm moving them, they are changing. It's changing the style. All right. It's changing the style. So typography is one. You can also change the opacity. I can change the opacity. I can change the width. You understand? Resizing everything, just everything that has to do with changing this stuff. The alignment, I can move it to this side. I can move it to this side. I can center it. All right. I can make sure it's down, up, or come back up, or put it at the center. All this thing is to all these different things. So I can also change the color. Because I can change the color. I can select any color. I can change it. So you can make use of this stuff. Make use of it very, very well. You understand? So now another tool is I've talked about colors and textiles. Now we'll talk about buttons. Buttons. Now, how to add buttons is um okay, let's see. Now, you still come here. You still come here. Okay. Probably I think I'll have to um end this particular video. Maybe after we'd talk about buttons and everything. You understand? So for now, it's just the icons that we're talking about. The icons. 1 1 minute. All right. So I think we'll have to end for here now. In our next class, we'll talk about actually loading all these icons and everything. So just know this stuff. Take note of all these things that I said because the text is what you be using to practice. Collaboration in Figma. This is the share link. This is the share link. All right. This is the share link. Also, the real-time editing, comment and the feedback. You see this real-time editing, you can edit with someone once you've shared this thing. That's what I mean by real-time editing. Then comment what I showed you earlier. This is the comment feature. You can comment when someone is working and when you're also working. Now that's all we have. After then you can export to a developer to continue the work, export using PNG, JPG, SVG, and the rest of them. You understand? So that's about what you've learned. So see you in the next class.